What's up guys and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be introducing you to color values. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is make an H1 and then call it CSS color values, and then make a paragraph with a class of something, and then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and I'm going to type in the different methods of setting a color. So we have it by the color name. We have color name, my favorite one, which is hex, and then we have RGB, RGBA, HSL, and then HSLA. And I'm gonna set the class, so we're gonna set this to name, hex, RGB, RGBA, HSL, and then HSLA. Alright. So we're gonna go into our styles.css, and then let's start with the name. So name, and I'm gonna set the color to, let's just pick a random one. So let's do this sea green. All right, and then we open this HTML file. Whoops, what did I do? All right, there we go, like this. So as you can see, now it's green, and this is the simplest way of setting a color. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna set the font weight of all of our paragraphs. So font weight, let's do 700, and what this does is it changes the thickness of our letters, as you can see. And yeah, so let's do the hex. So we're gonna go under the name, type in hex, and then to set the color with using hex, you're gonna want to do the hashtag sign, and let's do white, so FFF. And then if we can save, then as you can see, it's going to be white, and we're not going to see it, so let's actually set it to black, so 000. Now it's black, and what I usually do is I just like play around here and see whatever I want. But to do that, if I actually do that now, then as you can see, it's going to set it to RGB. But we want to use hex, so we're going to click here until we get this hashtag sign, and now we can play around. So let's say I wanted something. Let's just do dark green. There we go. And as you can see, now we set this hex text to dark green. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna set this to set it to actually something like dark blue, and then this one, let's set this to like cyan, like this, and let's take a look. There we go. Now let's set the RGB. So let's go here, .RGB. Now we set the color, and what we do now is we type in RGB. As you can see, we have RGB and RGBA. Yeah, and so as you can see, we have to put the red and green, blue, sort of. And the way we do that is we actually start from 0 to 255. So if we put everything here on 0, then it's going to be black. And if I put 255 on everything, then as you can see, it's going to be white. And so if I only put this max right here, put everything at 0, then it's going to be red. And then if I put it here, 255, then it's going to be blue. No, it's going to be green, sorry. And this one should be blue, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. So let's actually just set this one to blue. Take a look, there we go. Actually, I want to set this one to green, so we can just do 255. Or you can just hover here and then do whatever you want. So let's do something like this. That involves all of these values right here. There we go. And RGBA is basically the same thing, but there's just one difference. So let's do that. Like this. And I'm going to copy this. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to just do RGB and add A here. And now what we do is we add another one. So we add another value, and we can set this to 0 for now. And so basically, so this R stands for red, which is going to be the first value. G, which is going to be green. That's the second value. B, which is going to be blue, the third value, and A, which stands for opacity, and that's going to be the last value. So if we set this to 0, then as you can see, there's going to be nothing. And it's nothing because it's actually white, as you can see. So if we change this to 1, which is going to be the max, then it's going to be the color that we want. So I'm going to actually change this, to 1. I forgot to add A here. There we go. So as you can see, now it's just the same as this. So if we set this to something like 0.5, then it's going to be like this light green. So yeah, you can play around and we can actually just go inspect, and then we can just change this, which as you can see changes the opacity. So and now let's go over HSL. Now to do that, we're going to go back to our VS Code and then add HSL. Set the color, and this one is the same as RGB basically, so we have to type in HSL like this, and as you can see we have to set the HUE, the saturation and lightness, and this doesn't really make sense right now, but it will in a second. So let's set this to let's make this blue, so 215. Saturation is always going to be 100%, and lightness is going to be always 50, and I'm going to show you why later. So let's see what it looks like. There we go. And now if we inspect this element, then as you can see, if we change this to like, let's say 50, it's gonna start turning a bit gray. So if I actually set this to 0, then it's gonna be gray. So this is usually gonna be 100 or maybe 85, I don't know, whatever you want. And so this one right here, this one's gonna be the lighting, sorry. And that will be always 50, because if we go 0, then it's gonna be black. If we can do 100, then it's gonna be white. So you can do something like 75, that's gonna make it lighter, or maybe like let's say 25, that's gonna make it darker. So that's basically the HSL, and I'm gonna actually keep it like that. So I'm gonna change this right here to 25. And now, if you haven't realized it yet, the HSLA is basically the same thing, but just with the opacity. So we're just going to add A here. That means we have to add another value. So we can just set this to 1, and it's going to stay the same, as you can see. Now if we set it to 0, then it's going to be black, like this. Or actually, no, sorry, it's going to be white. Yeah, and then if we set it to 0.5, then it's going to be this light dark blue, and I'm going to just set it to, let's do 8.5. There we go. Alright guys, this is going to be for this video. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you like this video, leave a like and sub to the channel for more content like this. See you next video.